But of course, commiserations to all of those affected by the lockdown, Melbourne and Sydney. It's certainly not an easy time for many people, those who are, have lost their income, people who are at home trying to manage their work from home as well as schooling kids online. I know it's a very stressful time for those people. And also many people have their mental health affected during lockdown, and so many people find it a really tough time. So let's spare a thought and a prayer for those people, and also to everyone, not just in Australia but all over the world, who's suffering from not just the sickness of COVID. People have lost loved ones from COVID, and to all those whose lives have been adversely affected. So we wish sincerely that all beings are free from the suffering and difficulties of this pandemic, and may it very, very quickly disappear. Now, I haven't yet got the thumbs up from Manikam on the sound. Mani, are you okay on the sound? Can I proceed? Looks like not yet. No, not yet. Okay. So the plan for the session is that we're not going to actually start yet. I'm just waiting for Mani, but we're going to obviously start with developing the bodhicitta motivation, and we're going to reflect on the 4 immeasurables as part of that to help soften our minds. We're then going to recite general prayers from the prayer book, and Manikam's going to put the prayers up on the screen, which she does so nicely. I'm then going to recite the message from the Dalai Lama. So His Holiness gave as he does, a message to mark the occasion of Vesak. So that's a really beautiful message to the Buddhists and everyone, really. So I'm going to share that. Then we're going to do, time willing, do a short Shakyamuni Buddha meditation, a reflective prayer to mark the Dalai Lama's birthday, and then we're going to finish off with some prayers, the prayer for world peace, the prayer for the long life of His Holiness, and our usual dedication prayers in Tibetan and English. So that's the plan for the session. So hopefully we can get going soon. Manikam does an amazing job on technology, and he's trying, I'm not sure there is a good reason behind it, but this time he's using Google Meet to throw that onto YouTube. So that may be a little bit more complicated than usual. So he's working hard behind the scenes to get that working. So thank you very much, Manikam, for making that happen. Of course, we'd all rather be in the temple and enjoy the magnificent presence of Geshe-la and all the prayers and group meditation and practice that has been done in the temple, and all the energy and motivation that brings. But we are also incredibly fortunate to be able to have another option when it's not possible to be present in the temple. So once again, that is a cause for patience, and also rejoicing in the fact that we can still continue our practice and our prayers. So, there's always a silver lining if we look for it. And we're still, just waiting for the audio. So all good to go. Thanks, Manikam. So now I'll give the official welcome to everyone who's joining us this afternoon for the prayer session to celebrate Vesak and His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthday, 86th birthday. As I did mention in my preamble, it would have been lovely to have this in the temple and to be followed by a magnificent Tibetan Buddhist Society feast, but not so this year. Let's hope the next year we'll be able to do the usual temple prayers and dinner feast. So we're going to start the session by developing a pure motivation for the prayer session today. And to prepare our minds for this heartfelt motivation, we're going to reflect on the 4 immeasurables. So if you just get yourself into a posture conducive to reflection and meditation, I'm going to read out this prayer while we all reflect on it. May all living beings have happiness and all causes of happiness. I will do this. Please bless me to be able to achieve this. May all living beings be free from suffering and all causes of suffering. Please may I make this happen. Please give me the energy to achieve this. May all living beings never be separated from the happiness which is without suffering. How wonderful it would be. May this happen. May I take responsibility for causing this to happen. Please bless me to do this. May all living beings abide in equanimity, free from desire and hatred. May this come to pass quickly. I will do it. Please bless me to do it. So now that we've reflected on this prayer, we develop our bodhicitta motivation for the session by thinking, may my sincere and mindful recitation of prayers during this session be the cause for all living beings without exception to very quickly, very easily be free from all suffering. Very quickly, easily, and immediately achieve the state of pure enlightenment for the sake of all living beings without exception. May these prayers also be the cause for the precious, holy Dalai Lama to have a long and healthy life and continue teaching the precious Dharma and benefiting sentient beings. These also cause for Shakyamuni Buddha's teachings to long remain in perfect form and to continue benefiting all sentient beings into the future. May these prayers also be the cause for our precious teacher, Loden Rinpoche, to very quickly return to us and continue his activities for the benefit of all beings. So now we're going to recite the prayers from the prayer book, page 19, which Manakam is going to put up on the screen. We're going to recite the Refuge and Bodhicitta prayer and the short Mandala offering in both Tibetan and English. Tonpa Chomdende Dejin Jepa Trachompa, Yangdapa, Sope, Sangye, Rigpa, Dansha, So, Dampa, Dewa, Shepa, Jiten, Kempa, Gyobu, Dowe, Kalo, Kyowa, Lana, Mepa, Ladomi, Nankye, Tompa, Sangye, Chondempa, Pagyawa, Shakya, Topala, Chaksalo, Chotu, Kasu, Chiwo, Teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata, Arhat, perfectly pure and complete Buddha, all-knowing, having poise, Sugata, apprehender of the world, navigator of beings to be subdued, incomparable, teacher of gods and humans, to the Buddha, the Bhagavan, the glorious conqueror Shakyamuni, we prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Now the refuge and bodhicitta prayer. Sangye chok dan so ki chok nam la chang chok pa do dak ni kyab so chi dak hik chin so ki pe so nam ki Drola penche sangye drupasho. For the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until becoming enlightened. Through the merit of my generosity and so on, may I achieve Buddhahood to benefit all beings. And now the short Mandala offering. Saji Poki Chushing Metok Tram Rira Linjin Yan Pahari Sangye Jindumi Waki Prokun Nahandahashi This ground, anointed with perfume and strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, the 4 continents, adorned with sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered thus, may all beings enjoy such pure lands. We're now going to recite the 7-limbed prayer on page 21 for those who have the prayer book. I prostrate my 3 doors with a mind of respect and offer all actually arranged and mentally emanated offerings. I reveal all the downfalls and negativities that I have ever collected and rejoice in the virtues of individuals and superiors. Please remain perfectly abiding until samsara is no longer seen. I request you to turn the vast and profound wheels of Dharma. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. Now we recite the prayer of the lineage gurus on page 23. Body born from a million magnificent, excellent virtues, speech fulfilling the hopes of infinite beings, a mind that sees all objects of knowledge precisely, I bow my head to the chief among the Shakyas, supreme sons of the incomparable teacher, carrying the load of all the conqueror's deeds by the emanations appearing in countless realms. I prostrate to Maitreya and Manjushri. The mother of conquerors is difficult to fathom. The precise thought is in commentaries written by Jambudvipa's ornaments, Nagarjuna and Asanga. I prostrate at the feet of those most renowned in the 3 realms. From these 2 great chariots come the excellent lineages of the paths of profound view and vast deeds, their essential points gathered thoroughly and without fault. Prostration to the lamp holding this treasury of instruction. Giving explanation through compassion by seeing precisely and completely the essential points of all paths of Sutra and Tantra, holder of the Conqueror's entire holy Dharma. Prostrations to the glorious Losangdrapa. I seeing all the infinite teachings, supreme way of crossing for those entering the journey to liberation, moved by compassion to deeds skilled in method. Prostrations to the spiritual masters who make everything clear. So now we go to the Great Treasury of Excellence prayer on page 27. This is a prayer of the path to enlightenment, composed by the unequalled second Buddha, Tsongkhapa. The kind master is the basis of all qualities, and proper reliance is the root of the path. By seeing this excellence and through much striving, bestow blessings to be devoted with great respect. This gentle support of freedom obtained this one time is most difficult to achieve. Knowing its great value gives rise to a mind seizing its essence constantly day and night. Bestow blessings to generate this continuum unceasingly. It is like a bubble in water, this constantly moving body and life. Thus remember the swift collapse of death. Beyond death, like body and shadow, white and black karmic results follow after. By gaining firm certainty in this, the massive faults, subtle and very subtle, are abandoned, and the accomplishment of all virtuous collections completed. Bestow blessings to ever retain conscientiousness. The qualities of samsara are unfit to be trusted. The door to all suffering, do not be content with these enjoyments. By knowing its defects, bestow blessings to develop a great aspiration for the bliss of liberation. By that pure thought, great conscientiousness is drawn forth, and mindfulness and awareness of the individual liberation, the root of the teachings. Bestow blessings to make this the essential practice. Just as I myself have fallen into samsara's ocean, all living beings as mother are also like that. By seeing the responsibility for the liberation of beings, bestow blessings to be trained in supreme bodhicitta. However, by merely generating the mind, if not acquainted with the three aspects of ethics, enlightenment will not be attained. By seeing this excellence, bestow blessings to train with strong effort in the vows of conqueror's sons. Pacifying distraction toward perverse objects by way of proper analysis of the perfect meaning. Bestow blessings to swiftly and continuously generate the path related to the union of calm abiding and special insight, thus becoming a vessel trained in the common paths into the Vajrayana, supreme evolution of all vehicles. Bestow blessings to engage the easy path itself, that sacred way of crossing for fortunate beings. The base of practice for the two aspects of attainment is when guarding the pure vows of commitment is found to be genuine and certain. Bestow blessings to protect them even at risk of life. Then, by understanding properly the important points, which are the essence of the stages of the Tantra classes, bestow blessings to practice according to these holy teachings with continuous effort in the supreme four-session yoga. Like that, may the spiritual friend revealing the gentle path and the friends of proper practice stand firm. Bestow blessings to quickly pacify the masses of outer and inner hindrances. In all rebirths, may I never be parted from perfect gurus and the enjoyment of the glorious Dharma. By utterly completing all qualities, paths and grounds, may I quickly achieve the state of Vajradhara. So now I'm going to read out a message from His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Buddhists around the world for Vesak 2021. The message reminds us of the essence of the Buddhist teachings and emphasises the interconnectedness we have and our shared responsibility for the well-being of the earth and all sentient beings. So I read the message from His Holiness. On this auspicious occasion, when we commemorate the Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and entering into Mahaparinirvana, I offer my greetings to fellow Buddhists all over the world. Buddha Shakyamuni took birth as a prince of the Shakya clan in ancient India about 2600 years ago. The Pali and Sanskrit traditions declare that the Buddha attained enlightenment at dawn of the full moon day that we call Buddha Purnima. Both the traditions agree that he was not enlightened from the beginning, but became the Buddha through meeting the right conditions and striving to accumulate the two stores of merit and wisdom. According to the Sanskrit tradition, he had to do that for many eons and entailed his manifesting the four bodies of a Buddha: the natural truth body, the wisdom truth body, the complete enjoyment body, and the emanation body. A Buddha's complete absorption in meditation on emptiness is the wisdom truth body, from which he manifests in different forms. The complete enjoyment body appears to Arya Bodhisattvas, while the emanation body is visible to all. Buddha Shakyamuni was a supreme emanation body, the source of a continuous flow of activities to benefit sentient beings. The Buddha's teaching is essentially practical. It is not just for one group of people or one country, but for all sentient beings. People can follow this path according to their ability and inclination. I, for instance, started my Buddhist education as a child, and although I am now nearly 86 years old, I am still learning. Therefore, whenever I can, I encourage Buddhists I meet to be 21st century Buddhists, to discover what the teaching really means and to put it into effect. This entails listening and reading, thinking about what you have heard and read, and making yourself deeply familiar with it. Although our world has changed substantially since the time of the Buddha, the essence of his teaching remains as relevant today as it was 2600 years ago. Both the Pali and Sanskrit traditions possess methods for attaining liberation from ignorance and suffering. The Buddha's advice, stated simply, was to avoid harming others and to help them whenever we can and in whatever way possible. We can begin to do this by recognizing everyone else is just like us, that they want happiness and dislike suffering. Seeking joy and freedom from suffering is a birthright of all beings. But personal happiness very much depends on how we relate to others. By developing a sense of respect for others and a concern for their welfare, we can reduce our own self-centeredness, which is a source of many of our own problems, and enhance our feelings of kindness, which are a natural source of joy. So thank you to His Holiness for that very pertinent reminder of the essence of Buddhist practice. Thank you. So now we're going to do a short meditation on Shakyamuni Buddha, which I've taken from the Shakyamuni Buddha Sadhana in our prayer book, but you don't need to refer to that, just do the meditation. So get yourself into the meditation posture so that you're comfortable to start meditation. We're going to start this meditation by visualizing in space in front of us, at about the level of our forehead, that from emptiness appears a precious throne supported by 8 snow lions. In aspect, it is a precious throne. In nature, it is Shakyamuni Buddha's wisdom truth body. On top of the throne from emptiness arises a white syllable palm, which transforms into a white lotus flower, symbolizing renunciation. On top of this, the syllable A arises, which transforms into a moon disk mandala, symbolizing bodhicitta. On top of the moon mandala, from emptiness, arises a sun disk mandala, symbolizing the realization of wisdom. On the top of these 3 cushions, from emptiness appears Shakyamuni Buddha. In nature, he is my kind root guru. In aspect, the commitment being Shakyamuni Buddha. He has 1 face and 2 arms. His 1 face symbolizes that Shakyamuni Buddha perceives the one nature of all phenomena, the emptiness of inherent existence. His 2 arms symbolize the 2 truths. His right hand symbolizes great method, while his left hand symbolizes great wisdom. His right hand rests on his right knee in the earth touching mudra, which symbolises Shakyamuni Buddha's power to stop all negativities, especially the suffering of the three lower realms. His left hand rests in his lap in the mudra of concentration and holds a bowl of nectar, the nectar which destroys all delusions and especially all disease. At Shakyamuni Buddha's crown is a white Om, symbolising Vajra body. At his throat is a red A, symbolising Vajra speech. At his heart is a blue Hum. His holy body is golden coloured, golden light-natured like a rainbow. He is a monk wearing the three Dharma robes, symbolising his pure ethics. He is adorned with the 32 major signs, such as his hands and feet being marked with wheels, and the 80 minor marks, such as copper-coloured nails. He sits in the Vajra position and emanates countless rays of light in all directions. At Shakyamuni Buddha's heart, visualise a blue syllable Hum, surrounded by the mantra rosary, Om Muni Muni Maha Muniye Soha. From the Hum and mantra rosary, white light emanates in the 10 directions, making wisdom offerings to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The white light transforms into the various offerings, such as the 8 symbols of good fortune, the precious umbrella, the golden fishes, the great treasure vase, the gentle lotus, the right spiralling conch, the glorious endless knot, the victory sign, and the Dharma chakra. The light also transforms into the 5 qualities of enjoyment, the mirror, the lute, the incense, the fruit, and the cloth, which symbolise the enjoyment respectively of forms, sounds, aromas, tastes, and tangible things. These wisdom offerings are presented to all the limitless Buddhas of the 10 directions. All these limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, along with their realizations, compassion, love, wisdom, and so forth, transform into countless wisdom beings, Shakyamuni Buddhas. These wisdom beings, Shakyamuni Buddhas, some as large as mountains and some as small as sesame seeds, dissolve into the commitment being, Shakyamuni Buddha, like snow dissolving into a great ocean. The wisdom beings become non-dual with the commitment being. Seeing ourselves as a leader surrounded by all beings in the aspects of human, knowing their suffering, disease, short life, obscurations, and so on, we make the following heartfelt request to Shakyamuni Buddha. You are our Guru, you are the Buddha jewel, you are the Dharma jewel, you are the Sangha jewel, and you are our protector. From this moment until we all attain enlightenment, please hold us with the hook of your great compassion. Please release us from all negativities of body, speech, and mind, from the 2 obscurations and from the suffering of lower rebirths. So now we do the meditation on the realisation of peacefulness. We imagine that from the blue Hum and mantra rosary in Shakyamuni Buddha's heart, white light and white nectar radiate and dissolve into all beings, purifying all negativities, hindrances, obscurations, and suffering. The light and nectar especially purify and dissolve all disease and causes of disease, all cancer, AIDS, chronic illness, plagues, epidemics, and so forth. These are washed out through the lower parts of our bodies in the form of blood, pus, black light, and so forth, which disappear forever. All beings are filled with white nectar. And we think, now we have received the realisation of peacefulness from Shakyamuni Buddha. So we're going to spend a short time doing this meditation on peacefulness. So we can choose to either recite the mantra to ourselves, Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra, Om Muni Muni Maha Muniye Soha, or we can just meditate quietly as I've described. So imagining that from Shakyamuni Buddha's heart, white light, white nectar radiate, dissolve into ourselves and all beings surrounding us as far as we can imagine, not just purifying our own negativities and suffering, but that of all sentient beings. The pure white light and nectar, especially purified diseases, chronic health, epidemics, such as the COVID pandemic and so forth. We can imagine that as this white light and white nectar flows through our body and that of all sentient beings, that we are all completely purified of all types of suffering and negativity. This suffering and negativity we imagine in the form of black light, pus, coming out a lower part of our body, completely disappearing forever. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni E Soha. The meaning of the mantra is Om, able in controlling the suffering of lower rebirths, able in controlling the suffering of samsara, greatly able in controlling the obscurations to omniscience. I build the foundation. So now we imagine and visualize that ourself and all beings, without exception, are completely full of this beautiful, white, pure light and nectar, having been completely purified from all negativities of body, speech and mind. And we just focus for a short time on that thought. And now we conclude the meditation. So, in addition to celebrating Vesak, we're celebrating the 86th birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, which is on the 6th of July. So to celebrate the birthday, we're going to do a short reflective prayer. May His Holiness have good health and a long life, and may he continue to inspire people around the world to practice the heart of their religions and the heart of what it is to be a human being: kindness, love and compassion. May he continue to promote the practice of peace, and may all his wishes and prayers be fulfilled. So now we're going to conclude with some prayers. The Great Prayer for World Peace on page 45 of the prayer book, which Marnie is also going to put up on the screen. May all living beings be adorned with love, compassion, joy and equanimity. May they possess generosity, ethics, patience, effort, concentration, and wisdom. Thus, by the virtue collected through all that I have done, may the pain of every living being be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. May a rain of food and drink descend to clear away the pain of thirst and hunger. And during the eon of famine, may I myself change into food and drink. May I become an inexhaustible treasure for those who are poor and destitute. May I turn into all things they could need, and may these be placed close beside them. Without any sense of loss, I shall give up my body and enjoyments, as well as all my virtues of the 3 times, for the sake of benefiting all. May I be a protector for those without one, a guide for all travellers on the way. May I be a bridge, a boat, and a ship for all who wish to cross the water. May I be an island for those who seek one, and a lamp for those desiring light. May I be a bed for all who wish to rest, and a slave for all who want a slave. Just like space and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures. May the blind see forms, may the deaf hear sounds, and just as a rainbow arises naturally from space, may pregnant women give birth without pain. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find new hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. May all sentient beings have all the stainless powers, freedom from all conditions of non-leisure, freedom of action, and good livelihood. May embodied beings have a good complexion, good physique, beauty, power, and long life. May I always be an object of enjoyment for all sentient beings according to their wish, and without interference, as are the earth, water, fire, wind, medicine, and the forests. May I be as dear to sentient beings as their own life, and may they be very dear to me. May their negativities ripen for me, and all my virtues for them. May I give profit and victory to others, and take loss and defeat for myself. May I abandon selfishly cherishing myself, and continuously practice cherishing others. As long as any sentient being anywhere has not been liberated, may I remain in the world for their sake, even though I have attained enlightenment. May all worldly beings never experience war, fighting, or conflict, and forever remain without bad conditions, such as earthquakes, disease, or drought. May peace pervade the hearts of all, that they ever abide in joy and abundance. By the merits I have accumulated, may every living being abandon all forms of evil and continuously engage in virtue. So now we're going to do the prayer for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama on page 49 in English only. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and benefit. All-powerful Chenre Zig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until cyclic resistance is ended. And now we're going to finish off with the dedication prayers on page 34. In both Tibetan and English. Ditagi penam kage wayang dusum de che se che tam che ki se pahamon lam malu drupadam long to dam chosin pe yo no ye tu le se rab kun Echo kolo jidang mi faoxing, ye zhong jiang xian yang da ta wadang, Rinilam Gitro Pata Chin Shok. Whatever white virtues we have thus created, we dedicate as causes, enabling us to uphold the holy Dharma of Scripture and realisation, and to fulfil, without exception, the prayers and deeds of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times. By the power of this merit, in all our lives, may we never be parted from the four wheels of the Mahayana, and may we complete the journey on the paths of renunciation, bodhicitta, pure view, and the two stages. And now we do the general dedication. Gewadi kebo kun sohonam yeshi sohokshi sohonam yeshi lechungwe Dampa kuni tohopashok. By this virtue, may all beings complete the collections of wisdom and merit and attain the two holy bodies arisen from wisdom and merit. Jangchub Sem Chok Rinpo She Mahake Pahanam Kyochik Ke Pahanyampa Mepaye Gong Mele Gong Du May the precious superior mind of enlightenment be generated in those who have not yet generated it, and not decrease in those who have developed it, but increase continuously. And we also dedicate the session to the long, healthy life of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, to continue inspiring not just Buddhists, but all beings with his teachings and message. We also dedicate this to the very quick return for our holy, precious teacher, Loden Rinpoche, to return to our temple, continue his amazing teachings and activities. Also, may the precious teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha continue to flourish purely so that all sentient beings can access them and ultimately achieve enlightenment. So that's the end of the prayer session today. Thank you very much for joining us. And let's hope next year we'll be able to have the prayers back in the temple, the amazing holy temple that we're incredibly fortunate to have, and also followed by the magnificent dinner that is usually put on following the Vesak prayers. So let's hope that this time next year things are looking very different around the world, and that we can return to the temple for the prayers and the dining room for a beautiful dinner, and to also see each other. So thank you everybody for coming along today, and take care. Bye.